Okay, last week we learned about functions. Functions means like it's like summarizing things, summarizing related activities, summarizing related processes. A function is called a set of related activities or processes which target a single or defined outcome, and that is actually a set of related tasks together. So in addition to that, we can tell a set of related tasks together. A set of related tasks together defined with an identifier. A set of related tasks together defined with an identifier. Okay, for an example, in the real life, I have given one example, wedding. Wedding is a function. In wedding function, you have this arrival of the bridal party as well as groom's party, and then the registration, the memorial photographs, traditional cultural events, everything together, and serving of the refreshment and lunch, ceremonial events, thanking, departure, everything together, we call wedding. Okay, when you say tomorrow there's a wedding, we know these activities will be there. At least majority of the, not everything, but majority of these activities will be there. So let's say there's a wedding tomorrow, or there's a wedding next week. Again, it is calling all these activities. So if you tell the word wedding, it's implicitly calling all these activities which is inside that. Similar to that, when you define a function, right? Related codes can be grouped into a single unit, and that is defined using def keyword. Def, then the function name, then the parameters. Parameters are actually the inputs to the function. Parameters are inputs to the function. Okay, so then you have keywords, everything, right? Then the processes. Processes are listed over there. And so actually the content of the function is this, the processes, the related processes define the content of the function. And so we have actually defined few functions. One is add nums, in add nums function. So after we define this, it could add numbers. Then, so you can call the function any number of times. And function can be with parameters or even without parameters. Okay, today we will learn about the returning and non-returning functions. So function can be a returning one or non-returning one also. Right, okay, so before we learn, let's take ideally. You can take the ideally and start coding with me. Or if you don't have ideally in your computer, ideally install Kalanethang, I'll give you another suggestion, but so better if you can install ideally, you can go to Google and just go to Google and search Python IDLE. Then go to this download Python link and just download Python version and install it. Right? So that is the recommended thing. And if you don't have Python installed in your computer, or in your mobile phone even, what you can do is you can go to online Python compiler. So then you will get GDB compiler. This one, I'll send that link to you now. Okay, here's the link. You can just go to that link and start coding there. If you don't install, if you have not installed that, you can code online even. But my recommendation, go and install the IDLE. Okay, NetMe, have you installed the IDLE? NetMe? Have you installed
No,
the
sir.
Netuli? You have it, no? You have it. Shimla? Yes. Yeah. Shimla, do you have the IDLE? No. So you can, for the moment, you can use this one, right? For the moment, it's okay, use this one. The link that I have sent. Next day, download the IDLE and install. Right? Okay, so let's write small function as a welcome function. Let's say the function name define. I'm going to define def. Function name is welcome. And this function says print in welcome to Python. Okay, let's write another function. These spaces are very important, right? This space after the def says this statement belongs to the function. Okay, let's write another function. Welcome, and I'm going to give name and print welcome to the Python. Oh, I'm going to merge name here. Welcome name to Python. That is with one parameter. And just to remind, so there's another welcome. Welcome. This is welcome 1. This is welcome 2, and it has 2 parameters: name and count. So this will run a loop for k in range count, and then print welcome name to Python. So these are 3 functions. So please write all 3. And then let's call these 3 functions. The first function, let's call the first function welcome. Only the first function. I'm calling this welcome. I can call anytime, right? Welcome, 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 welcome. Then it will call 3 times. So see here, when I run this, it's okay. So I have to just drop it. Okay, here it will print welcome to Python 3 times because I have run the welcome function print any number of times. So similar to that wedding, any number of time I can call the function. So try this first. Try this first. Right. Let's go to Netuli's computer and see how she has done. Right. Others can also do this, right? Right. So because that is beneficial for you. Netuli, you can share it now, Pute. Okay, so you saw how Netuli has done, right? You saw how she has done. She was calling 3 functions separately. And let me do the same and show you, right? I'm calling the first function welcome. And now if I run the code, you can see welcome to Python. So let's run welcome 1. Welcome 1 mehema run karot waradino. If I run like this, it will give an error. Here, error. Because I have not given the parameter name. Name should be given. Let's give a name. You have to give this inside the quotation. Quotation athule denno. Let's say Dasun. Then run. You can say welcome Dasun to Python. The third one is welcome to function. Welcome to function, and I can give 2 parameters, that is name and the count. I need this 6 times. When I run this, you can see it's running welcome Dasun to Python 6 times. If you want, I can call all 3 functions. Right? I can call welcome and welcome 1 and welcome 1 with the name, let's say Kasun, and another one. Let's 3 times. Now you can see the first function print in welcome to Python, the second function print in welcome Kasun to Python, welcome Dasun to Python 3 times. So that is the execution. Okay, welcome to Python, welcome Kasun to Python, welcome Dasun to Python for 3 times, the counter. Okay, anyone getting errors? Errors එන එක ස්වාභාවිකයි. ඕගොල්ලන්ට එන්න ඕන errors. මොකද මෙතන හිස් තැනක් වැරදුනොත් ඔයාලට error එකක් එනවා. කමාවක් වැරදුනොත් error එකක් එනවා. colon එකක් වැරදුනොත් error එකක් එනවා. අකුරක් වැරදුනොත් එනවා. space එකක් වැඩි වුණොත් error එකක් එනවා. That is natural. No errors means I'm extremely happy. Don't make me that much of happy, because then I'll get heart attack. Right? Don't make me that much of surprise. Don't you get any errors? Netuli didn't get any error. That is good. Okay, because she's doing it for a long time. Others, no errors. Sidmi, any errors or no errors? Sidmi?
No, sir.
No errors. Okay, good. Satira? Satira?
No, sir.
Okay, wonderful. Shimla?
No, sir.
No errors. Means you are good in Python, it seems, right? So I'm the one who's bad. Right? Okay. Anyway, so if you run like this and if you get this without any errors, so I'm really happy. Right? But normally you'll get errors. If you get errors, let me know, then I can help you correct, right? Errors ආවට බය වෙන්න එපා. Errors ආවා කියන්නේ නිකන් අර ජීවිතේ නැති කරගන්න ඕන වගේ දරුණු ප්‍රශ්නයක් නෙමෙයි. So let me know, then I can help. Okay, now you know Python functions. Now today's lesson I'll focus on returning and unreturning functions. Okay, please write down the heading: returning and non-returning functions. Under that, please write down a returning function. A returning function will generate a result. Will generate a result and store it for later use. We can get it assigned to a variable. We can get it assigned to a variable and use that when required. Use that when required. Example, calling of returning function, get average can say avg equal get average. I'm giving some numbers. So what this function will do, it will calculate the average and assign that to avg variable. It will calculate the average and assign that to avg variable. This will calculate the average and assign that to avg variable. Second one, a non-returning function. A non-returning function will execute the instructions and generate a result without storing the result or without storing the result values. Example, shutdown function will turn off the computer. These are sometimes called procedures. So these functions are called procedures sometimes. Why? Because it does something, but it doesn't store values. Shut down, shut down, that thing will happen. So the three functions that we call the welcome function, welcome one function, welcome two function are this kind of functions. Welcome. So I think you wrote that functions. So these three are example for. These three are also examples for that kind of functions. These are some other examples. It does the thing. When you call, it will do the task. That's all. When you call, it will do the task. Okay, kindly finish this. Kindly finish writing this. So anyway, I'm giving notes, right? I'm giving notes. Don't worry. So sometimes you might think, why I'm giving time to write? So because I'm giving the longer notes I'm giving, and I'm giving that to you. But these are some special points. The special points better you write down at the lesson time. Right? I don't mind if you're not writing these things and keep some space, that is okay. But these highlighted points, you better write down. Let's move and so create some returning function in the practical. So this one, and I'm going to create a returning function now. So this can be done easily by replacing this string. You can just call return. Okay, I'm going to convert all three functions to the returning functions. Let's return. And the next one, okay, I'm going to assign a variable before that. Let's say results. Initially results is blank. And when this counter runs, I'm going to concatenate results plus equal. I'm adding, keep adding this and keeping this in a variable. Then I can assign this to variable 1, and if I'm running this, variable 2 and variable 3. So likewise, I can store the results. So now, what is there? Unexpected indent. So what is that? Def welcome. Oh, some unwanted spaces are there. It's my mistake. So don't keep unwanted mistakes. It will give you error, right? These spaces are really important in Python. Let me run this, and you can see again, welcome to Python. What is that? Welcome, return, welcome to Python. The line number 2. Return array. Okay, no, return, and here also. Finally, I have to return here. Return the result. Okay, let's run this. That's why I said even I do mistakes. Even I do mistakes. So how you miss that? Okay, now still I'm getting errors. Welcome to Python. You have to add this actually. Welcome name to Python, because you are not going to print. Here also you have to add this. Welcome name to Python. Press equal, press plus. So this is the accepted way. Let's run. Okay, done. Here it is. Nothing will be the output. In output, you will get nothing. But you can use, if you wish to use the output, you can use like this. Let's say I want to do something. I want to print variable 3. Later, you can use that. And you can see, welcome to Python, welcome to Python. එක line එකට එන්නේ ඔක්කොම. So because I have not added the new line character, this is new line character. Now let's run this. Okay, now I can see here, welcome to Python, welcome to Python, welcome to Python. මෙතනටත් පොඩි space එකක් එනවා. 2 space to Python. Now we can see, okay, welcome So immediately you are not going to use the results. You assign that to a variable and later you can use it. Later you can use it. So like this. Right? You are keeping the results inside the function. After creating the function, keep the results, and after keeping these results, you can later use this for different tasks. I'll do meaningful one. This is just example, right? Make a meaning එකක් නැහැ. It's okay. You can practice this. The next version, in the next, when you reconnect to the link. So now this Zoom link will be ended, but you can reconnect to the link, and the second spell I'll explain more meaningful one. For the moment, try this. For the moment, try this in your machine. Online version or in your computer using ideally, try this. I hope you are doing now. මට පේන්නේ නැහැ ඔයගොල්ලන්ව